Francis Ngannou has absolutely no idea how to box, and I think everybody in the MMA community doesn't realise that, and it's kind of shocking to me no one really realises that. I think he's absolutely terrible on the feet. Like, truly, I don't think he really has anything except power. Obviously, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on this. However, obviously, I made a video before about him versus Tyson Fury, and I just said about how much of a faff it was and how ridiculous it is, and people were like giving me hate for it. Like, there's a comment saying, "Oh, what type of a boy or a man gets irritated by what another man does?" And I was like, I can have an opinion. I think it's silly. I truly think it's silly. I spoke my voice in that video. People liked it. People hated it. I don't really care. Regardless, it was my opinion. Regardless, you don't have to listen. You don't have to comment. You don't have to take time out of your day to comment or watch the video. I don't know if you watched it all the way through, but I was giving praise to him. I was saying, well done, he's accomplished a lot. To be a UFC world champion, that takes balls. However, to be a heavyweight champion, it just takes being big and powerful and having the right fights. And in Ngannou's case, he was patient. And then the Ciryl Gane fight was a good fight. I thought Ciryl Gane beat him because he did nothing on top in one of the last few rounds, and it was just like, right, well, Ciryl Gane's landed more, so surely he should win. But anyway, I don't like Francis Ngannou. I think if he had a personality and he talked a load of shit, I'd really like him, because he would be a really big star, because like, obviously massive power puncher, talks a bit of shit, you know how it is. People enjoy that type of thing. However, I've got an opinion. I'm going to share the opinion, because genuinely I don't like him, and I think he's going to lose in boxing, mainly because he's flat-footed. He's got no footwork at all, guys. Come on. Watch his fights. He's so flat-footed. He is so flat-footed. And speed-wise, I think he's really slow. I think he's a very slow heavyweight. Like, yeah, his cardio is actually quite impressive considering how much muscle he has on him, but still, he also fights at such a little pace. And fair enough, if he has to fight like that, fair enough. But then you can't box, mate. You're not going to be able to slow a fight down like you can in MMA. In boxing, against a high-level talented boxer, he will make the fight fast-paced. He will destroy you. And he will stop you in his tracks. I think Fury finishes him in 2 rounds. 4 rounds maybe if you wait for him to gas a little bit. But Ngannou doesn't really move. Like, he doesn't really, he kind of just stands and he kind of just follows you. And it's really... People say, oh, it's exciting because of that one big punch. It's like, mate, the one big punch part makes it boring. He's got no pace, no heart, no footwork. It's not like we're talking... It's like Deontay Wilder is a prime example of what you need to be exciting. Has that knockout ability. Isn't the best boxer, but he's fine to scrap. He's fine to get hit. He's fine to go at a fast, hard pace like he was against Fury the 3rd time out. And people respect you, but he's going to get in the ring and get embarrassed by someone like Dillian Whyte. However, the power aspect is there, so it makes it like, oh, Ngannou could win. But then I feel like as soon as we start seeing him in the first fucking 4 rounds, bet you throw 10 punches maybe, and then at the end of the fight, I was just trying to pace myself. I was just trying to move forward. I was trying to. That's what he sounds like. I think I'm quite good at an impression of him. You know what? But I don't like the UFC. I don't feel the UFC has my best interests. He sounds a bit Indian, I think. Do you think? He sounds a bit like, but the UFC, I don't think has my best interests. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Lovely guy, I'm sure, but I just don't like him. I just think he's boring. I think he's so boring, and I just think, what is the point in you? Like, you're such a weird personality to the point where you're never going to be a superstar, but you're also such a freak of nature to where people pay attention. He's slow. He's got no head movement. And also, for the people who put clips on TikTok and are like, oh, Francis Ngannou does have head movement. Literally. Like, clips of him jabbing, then taking a step back and going. Anybody can bob their head like that. Head movement is in when it matters, when it's in the clinch, when it's in the pocket, when you're at range. Like McGregor's a prime example. He throws that kind of like lead uppercut, and he comes round, and he comes over the top. So he goes, whoa. So his head's off the centre line. He's too far to the left for them to land a hook because their hands are down and by their side. That's head movement. That's head movement. Boxing, moving up against the ropes, moving Philly shell style. That's head movement. Stop saying he's a good boxer when he's really not. He'd get absolutely obliterated by any boxer with any talent. And regardless of the power aspect, if they're a high enough level boxer, they will dismantle somebody who is slow, flat-footed, boring, has no spite really. He kind of just lands it and then he's done. I think he's a troubled man. I truly think he's troubled. I feel like he picked a fight with the UFC and he tried to win, but then it's like, I just don't like the way he's gone about things. I truly don't. I think he's kind of killed his career completely. I want him to come back to the UFC maybe in a year or so, but I don't want him to go and mess up his career. He doesn't have star power for example, if McGregor went and lost a few times, no one really cares. Like, he's a star, he's a superstar, they're going to watch him. If Ngannou loses 2 times outside the UFC, no one's ever speaking about Ngannou again. Thank you very much. See you later.